Hey people, this is SimpleWilkin with a podcast. I'm back, but this is different. I swear every time I do a podcast I always introduce with that, saying somehow it's different. I'm kind of going for Batman news now. I'm just going to give people out there updates on what the good old Cape Crusader is up to these days, I just feel like, because Batman's just it's massive. It's massive. There's games, comics, films, documentaries even. There's that documentary film about how Batman brings people together. It's weird. It's fucking weird, but at the same time, it's kind of nice. It's really, really nice and pleasant. But I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to make a podcast on Batman news and just give people out there the daily update on what's going on in the Batman world with some cool stuff. First thing I was going to go over is the Batman Arkham Origins game. Now, a lot of people have been talking about that, saying it's good, it's bad. Well, I'm just going to go over a few things of what's happened recently. DC Entertainment has just announced they're making a interactive comic book of Batman Arkham Origins. I don't know if it's set at the same time or if it's set before, but all I know is you get to interact with it, you get to choose your own adventure you go on, you get to put your own soundtrack into it. So just imagine putting the Dark Knight soundtrack into it, listening to something like Wayne Manor, and you're just going through this comic and it's really nice, really dark, and you kind of catch what I'm saying. It would just be good to put Batman's soundtrack into this interactive comic and choose what you want to read and choose what you want to do and listen to it. It feels like, in a way you're kind of part of it. You get to change the fate of what happens to, the heroes or the villains. It just sounds like a good idea. I might give it a shot. It's the first time they're going to do an interactive comic book that involves Batman. I think it is. I'm not too sure. A bit rusty on it, but if someone's out there, then do let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah. Also, ever since Arkham Origins was announced, everybody that was a diehard fan, even me, I was wondering if the actor that's always done the voice ever since the 90s, and that's Kevin Conroy, if he will return to play the Cape Crusader. Loads of people question it. People saying, you should get him back, he's the best, he's Batman, he is the Batman. People are saying, nah, they shouldn't bring him back, because he's younger. He's younger, so they were going to get a younger voice in to do it. But, even if Batman is young, he's still going to sound the same. He's going to have his voice, and then he's going to have that voice to speak like this. Well, not necessarily. That was a terrible voice. I don't know what my best impression is of Batman. He's got so many different voices, from the cartoon to the film. Like in the film, he's like, "Where's the trigger? Where is it? Where is it? Or where's Rachel?" He asks for a lot of stuff, doesn't he? Christian Bale's Batman. But no, and then in the cartoon one, he was just plain, no emotion. But yeah, people always wanted to know if Kevin Conroy would return as Batman, but he did say that he was coming back for an Arkham game. But when they announced a load of stuff for Arkham Origins, it was Roger Craig Smith that is going to be doing the voice of the younger Batman. People will know him from Resident Evil 5 and 6 as doing the voice of Chris Redfield, of which I know him from. Or other people out there will know him from doing the trilogy of Assassin's Creed games, in which he did the voice of Ezio Auditore. So, if you listen to Chris and Ezio, they sound the same. But yeah, Roger Craig Smith, he's going to come in and he's going to do the voice. But with Kevin Conroy saying he's coming back for an Arkham game, which he announced, Kevin Conroy himself announced, he said it, loads of people have been asking what he meant by that. Could we see another sequel on next-gen consoles for Batman, like another Arkham game, like what happens after Arkham City? Or maybe he's in the prequels, maybe like the prequel to Arkham Origin. The whole game's just one massive flashback, and you got Kevin like narrating over it. Also, Mr. Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, will not be returning to Arkham Origins. There's you've got someone called Troy Baker to take over the role as Mr. J. I kind of found out the other day that he's done a lot of Batman work. He's in Arkham City, the guy that's voicing Joker in Arkham Origins. He did the voices of Two-Face and Robin in Arkham City, and then he did the voices in Lego Batman 2. He played Batman, Two-Face again, Sinestro, Brainiac, and Hawkmar. Man, that sounds like a great superhero, Hawkmar. This guy he can't get enough of Batman. Joker, Two-Face, Robin, Batman, even Superman characters like Brainiac, and even members of the Justice League. This guy loves his DC. Anyway, you're moving on from Arkham Origins. We all want to talk about the comics, the game, the cinematic trailer, which was awesome with Deathstroke. Also, for all you Wii users out there who really are into Deathstroke and you want to get the DLC, I'm afraid you won't be able to get it for the Wii U, but then I highly doubt anyone has the Wii U just because it's bollocks. Anyway, moving on now from games to comics. For the people out there, I've just got into the New 52 comics. I wasn't really a comic guy when it came to Batman, but I've just got into them recently. I loved it. I love Death in the Family. I've read some of the old comics like The Killing Joke, Under the Red Hood. But yeah, I've only just got into them and I'm loving them at the moment. And the fact they've just killed off Damian Wayne and nobody likes Incorporated, like the Batman Incorporated. I kind of like it. I don't know why. But yeah, there's a whole crazy shit. And just to make, and in fact, you've got Year Zero coming out, I think, in which it's Batman in his earlier days, which is cool. It's pretty cool for a New 52 comic. But yeah. September's always a big month for comics, and this month with the Batman series, each issue, instead of having it set on Batman and Robin or whoever the fuck, each issue is just going to be dedicated to like a villain. So it'll just be what they get up to, what they do. I don't know, maybe these comics will change and it'll be something like the villain wins instead of the hero. But, it's Batman. Batman's always going to end up winning. There's quite a lot, to be fair. Like, the first one will be Joker, then you've got Riddler, Two-Face, Killer Croc, Ra's al Ghul. But, it's not just the Batman series as well, in the New 52 series. With Superman, there's, like, Doomsday coming into it. Like, they're bringing Doomsday into the New 52 comics, and a lot of people are looking forward to that. You've got General Zod as well, Lex Luthor. There's loads for like Green Lantern and Flash. I'm not really familiar with those. I just adore Batman. But yeah, also, and they've got these really cool 3D covers, like 3-dimensional covers. See, I think it's 3D, but I've seen covers and the way they move and that is pretty damn cool. Moving on to the next. Moving on from comics now, we're going on to films. Now, in a couple of weeks, I don't know, maybe I think it's 2 weeks, Man of Steel hits the big screen. And now I've been looking forward to Man of Steel. By every trailer I watch, each trailer it just gets better and better. Personally I'm getting a little bit scared because I'm fearing, what if this is better than the Batman trilogy? Because to me, Batman Begins will always be the best film. Everyone says Dark Knight was the best out of all of them. Personally, for me, Batman Begins was the best because it showed you like a rougher, darker version. No hope type of Gotham. The way it just looked like a rough area in London, for Christ's sakes. And I liked that. It looked good. And then how it just changed in the second one. It was all skyscrapers and everywhere looked clean. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, with Man of Steel, it's going to be good. I'm liking the look of it. It's going to do well. But the dude that plays Superman, Henry, if I can pronounce his surname right, Henry Cavill? Cavill? Yeah, I think. I don't know. Henry. Let's just go with Henry. I think it was like a week ago, he said he did an interview and he said he was interested to do a Batman and Superman movie. Now, to me, in my opinion, I reckon it's going to be I would rather have them do a Batman and Superman movie where they meet for the first time. I would like that a lot more better than a Justice League movie. Because, Justice League have got to put out all those characters, try and get enough time in. Well, they did it with the Avengers, but then again, I watched the Avengers once, liked it, tried watching it again, didn't like it. Don't get me wrong, it was good, it's my opinion, you've got an opinion. Let's just be fair and say you enjoyed it, but I didn't. But yeah, in my opinion, a Superman and Batman movie would be a lot better than the Justice League movie, because at the moment it's looking like there's no hope for a Justice League movie. Superman does well, they're gonna make it, but for me, I'd rather they make a Batman and Superman movie first. You could just imagine seeing Batman and Superman meet for the first time on the big screen, something that people have been waiting for years. Literally, if I'm sitting in that audience and I'm going to be watching that scene where they meet for the first time, it's going to be beautiful. You've got Christopher Nolan, he's like in charge of all what's going on with DC at Warner Bros, he looks over it, he's like the puppeteer or something, he's controlling what shit does. People are saying, will this be the return of Christian Bale, or will this be something completely new? But going back to my opinion, I really want Christian Bale to come back, because Christian Bale was my favourite character. My favourite Batman. Sorry guys, a little bit spaced out. But yeah, I would love to see Christian Bale come back, because personally for me, he was my favourite Batman. Like, from a kid in primary school, seeing Batman Begins and falling in love with it, and then in secondary school with The Dark Knight, waited for that film when it came out, watched it, loved it. Still not as good as Batman Begins, and then finally being in college and that, and with The Dark Knight Rises, which people hated. A lot of people hated it. There was a lot of plot holes, but people say, like, when he gets out of the little hole, like, how does he do it? Where does he go? How does he get from island to island? Well, my little theory is, Bane does grow up in a prison in South America, so Bale could have just been in South America, and just hopped over but he's fucking Batman, for Christ's sakes. He's always going to have a plan B. He's going to have not just plan A and B, but he's going to have, like, plan A, B, all the way down. He's going to have the whole alphabet of plans. But yeah, but when it comes to the film industry and what Christian Bale is like, for all those fans out there of him, he probably isn't going to come back as Batman. That's going to be its own little universe. They're going to want to do something new with Batman. They're going to reimagine it yet again. But yeah, that would be really interesting to see. I'm up for it more than a Justice League movie, but I don't know, whatever your opinion is out there, if they did turn into a Justice League movie, I wouldn't mind, because, seeing, like, Martian Manhunter and all those many other characters, and Flash, see how funny he is in the film, I would really like that. But with Man of Steel, to start it all off, Zack Snyder has said in an interview, spoilers now, if people don't want to know absolutely anything, then go away right now. Go do one. Because you don't want to hear this. You might, but according to Zack Snyder in the film, there's going to be a scene where General Zod destroys a satellite, and on the side of the satellite it's going to have a logo on it saying Wayne Enterprise. And that's the first thing they're going to mix in, to start. It's going to be the build-up to the Justice League movie, the way they did with Iron Man, building up all the way to the Avengers. It begins, they've started it off. They're building, DC are doing their version, and, deep down, I know it's going to be a hell of a lot better than what Marvel do, because I really don't like Marvel films at the moment, with Iron Man 3, and, I don't know, just ever since Iron Man, as it's just got on and on, it's just got more bad, really. Iron Man 3 was terrible. But yeah, that's where it's all going to begin, and, I'm looking forward to seeing Man of Steel. I'm going to go see it. It looks fucking awesome. But yeah, until next time, I'm going to wait until there's more news popping up around the place, around the joint of Batman, and I'll get back to you next time. Stay simple.